I think it's much like Syracuse. I think it's a game, it's a series that has down through the years meant a lot, and still does, and so whether you say rivalry, I'm not sure, but without a doubt, our paths have been intertwined.
Yeah.
And there's so many memories of Georgetown, Connecticut games, and hopefully that will continue.
Is it different going in with both teams still trying to find their way a little bit? We're used to seeing both teams ranking top 5, playing for Big East championships, and now it's a little bit different scenario.
Well, the Big East championship hadn't been decided yet, so
true.
we still may be playing for that. But Max says, okay, I started without you.
Yeah.
Start over.
Can we start over? Yeah.
And I think I told our guys this in many ways. I think their team is like ours. I think we're both better than our record. And you look at their games, and I'm trying to. I've seen all their games, but they've been in every one. You can look at it and say, you take away this 2-minute stretch here, this 3-4 possessions here. Their record could be completely different. Now that being said, I think the last couple of games, they're finding their groove, where they play very, very well. And I think they're finding their rhythm with the group that is there now, that is healthy now.
Can you say the same of your team after the St. John's game?
I hope so. We'll see. I hope so.
Could you talk about the job Ollie has done, considering the losses? They lost a lot of talent early in the game.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. Just to totally keep reinventing yourself, and that's what they've had to do with multiple injuries. But like I said, you watch every one of their games. They're guys. They're in every game. They're fighting, and so not just Kevin, who's done a tremendous job, but just their guys, the young guys that are being thrown in the roles that they probably didn't. They probably wished, but really didn't. Really weren't ready for yet. But they're responding.
Speaking of expanded roles, Jonathan Momars has increased in part because of injury. How's he adapted to it?
It's been good. John brings speed that most people don't have, and so it's just it's a process of getting not only him but his teammates to understand. Okay, he's fast, so that means I got to run also, and so. But it's been a process. But he's settling in. I guess the best way to put it. He's settling in, and we and his teammates are settling in around him. But I thought he's been pretty good lately.
Probably because of injury and also the loss of talent. UConn doesn't tend to go too far deep into their bench. 7 or 8 guys. As in contrast, you have a pretty deep bench. Is that going to play a major factor in the game?
So you look at it on a piece of paper, and you say, this team only plays 7 or 8 guys. This team plays more. We should be able to go at them and get them in foul trouble. But they're used to playing with 7 or 8 guys now, and so everyone kind of gets it's. So how will that play into it? I don't know. I don't think, and I'm trying to sit and remember if I'm making an accurate statement. I don't think they've been in foul trouble too much, and so I don't think anyone's been able to do that. Well, I'll take that back. But it's. Is your game plan? Let's get Billy in foul trouble. No, you just have to play. If it happens, it happens.
Let's talk more about the pace of the game too. Do you think, because in the last 2 games they really jumped out on opponents, gotten up 10-0, like 22-0. They've been trying to speed it up. Do you think the fact that you have more players allows you to get fresh legs into that? They try to do that.
No, and they want to play fast, and we do too. And so, I don't think speeding up or slowing down the pace will affect that at all.
Rebounding could be huge in this game, and they have 2 centers, 2 bigs that have been cleaning the glass. What's your approach to that?
Well, that's one thing that's been a constant down through the years. You're not going to beat Connecticut if you don't compete on the boards. That's been for decades. That's been the case, and so they got a couple of guys that really go get it. And that is a part of their game plan, I think. Okay, at the end of the day, throw it up and y'all go get it. And so that's something that hasn't changed. We're going to have to be very attentive. We can't have guys watching because they're going each and every possession. And so we have to fight. You have to compete on the boards if you're going to have a chance at all against them.
Given that Adams is so important to what they do, is getting the ball out of his hands or making it difficult for him to get it, is that part of yours?
And that's kind of similar. Yes, but that hadn't happened yet. You know, and so it's. I mean, he knows that he has to have the ball in his hands, and so he controls. And I think, especially the last 2 games, I think he's done an outstanding job of helping his teammates and picking and choosing when, you know, for stretch there, he may have been thinking about himself all too much. I don't want to speak for him, okay, but lately he's done a really good job of, okay, now it's my turn. Nope, now let me help my teammates out, and so he's settling into that role. You know, going into the season, you know, they probably anticipated the kid that's hurt, Gilbert,
Georgia.
being the point guard, and Adams playing off of him, and now Adams is settling into that role. He's doing a good job, very good job.
John, with Butler, Xavier, and Creighton in particular playing the way they are now, and Syracuse and Connecticut not living up to what we expect from them, is that at all kind of a validation of realignment and what the Big East is now?
I don't think that the two are related, and I say that to say the Butlers, the Creightons, the Xaviers of the world, you know, have, I said this a few minutes ago, benefited from being in the Big East and all of our history and tradition, and we're benefiting from having those teams as additions also. And so, you know, it has nothing to do with, who did you just mention?
Connecticut, Syracuse.
It's absolutely nothing to that. It's the Big East, and you've heard me say this 100 times, and I've been saying this for 3-4 years now. We'll be fine. We're built for basketball, and we're always going to be among the best, if not the best, basketball conference.
You just Trey Campbell back to practice again.
He went through partial practice yesterday. I'm anticipating him, we practice right after this, being able to go through full practice today, knock on wood, but I'm not 100% sure.
And if he does go through full practice, will be
I think so.
uniformed? Okay.
I think, but then he'll be in uniform.
Okay.
How much, you know, we got to look at him after practice and see. So at the end of the day, it'll be a game time thing, but I'm being honest, I'm hoping he'll be out there.
Anything else, guys?
Thank you, John.
Thank you, guys.